I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was the pilot. And I took a picture and I said, "Most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane?" And they banned me. I know you're probably thinking, that's a quote from either Family Guy or South Park. But nah, that is actually one of the infamous quotes from Andrew Tate. But who is this guy? The former kickboxing champion turned entrepreneur is a polarizing figure in the online world. From his controversial statements on social media to his unconventional lifestyle choices, he has managed to amass a ridiculous number of fans with an equal number of haters. Many criticize him for provocative statements about women, his controversial views on mental health, his brash demeanor, questionable business practices, and his seemingly extravagant lifestyle. But is he really this obnoxious, or is this person just a strategy for PR? Let's delve deeper into the reasons why the world hates Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is basically a household name at this point. But how did he gain all this fame and, well, the hate that came with it? Although Tate gained a championship in kickboxing in 2009, he wasn't really famous until he appeared in the British reality show Big Brother in 2016, where he was kicked off after a video emerged of him appearing to assault a woman. Of course, this was after his old tweets on homophobia and racism resurfaced. On December 29, 2022, he was arrested in Romania along with his brother, Tristan, on suspicious human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group, prosecutors said. The following day, a Romanian court ruled that Andrew Tate would remain in custody for 30 days. Their detention was then extended for another 30 days, until the end of February, and another 30 after that. Tate's appeal against a judge's decision to keep him locked up until at least March 29th was rejected. He was subsequently released from jail on March 31st and placed under house arrest, which ended in August, pending a trial. But ever since he exited the reality show, he has been involved in one scandal or after another. Provocative and sexist comments on interviews and podcasts have made him infamous among most women. And the former kickboxer. He often calls himself a feminist when he is being attacked for his crazy views on women and gender. Kind of like when a person says something racist against African Americans, and when he is called out, he says, "I can't be racist, I have black friends." Tate is often seen comparing women to children or cars, often arguing that he has a duty to protect the women and objects in his possession. When interviewed by the BFF's podcast, Dave Portnoy told Tate that he believes that while there are plenty of women who would enjoy being in a relationship where a man is filling traditional gender roles, other women view themselves as every bit the equal of a man and do not want that sort of relationship. Tate responded by saying that if a woman were to see herself as equal to a man, she would be the exact kind of woman that I would never give my time of day to. Any woman who is going to sit there and think it's more important to argue with me about whether she is as capable as a man at everything, as opposed to just letting me pay the bill and be pleasant, is not the kind of woman I want to talk to, said Tate. Tate sees protecting women as his masculine imperative, which begs the question of what women need protection from. If it is men, then it seems this toxic, hypermasculine, sexist ideological worldview does not make women much safer. The idea that a woman would threaten the masculine imperative by paying a bill or not acting pleasant reminds me of a quote from novelist Margaret Atwood, who said, "Men are afraid that women will laugh at them. Women are afraid that men will kill them." On the podcast, Tate went further to defend his opinion that women are like dogs and children, saying, "You can't be responsible for something that doesn't listen to you. You can't be responsible for a dog if it doesn't obey you, or a child if it doesn't obey you, or a woman that doesn't obey you." When hosts push back, he always retreats by saying things like, "I love women." In fact, an interesting statistic, 100% of the people I have ever had sex with are women. But this is obviously a comedic attempt at evasive maneuvering. Tate will argue that the comparison to non-humans, objects, and children are just examples. If this is true, he should probably update his references because these are tired. The paternalistic treatment of women has long been used as a way to justify both decreasing the agency and autonomy of women to make their own decisions and allowing them to acquire the resources to live an independent and dignified life. Following his usual explosive takes on several topics, Tate was banned from Facebook and Instagram for violating parent company Meta's policies on dangerous individuals. He had 4.7 million Instagram followers before his official account was deleted. He was banned days later from YouTube for breaching hate speech rules, but fan channels have filled in the gaps, posting videos that reach millions of views. TikTok barred him from having an account, but content posted under the hashtag Andrew Tate has been viewed billions of times. An analysis by the Center for Countering Digital Hate, CCDH, has identified more than 100 TikTok accounts that frequently promote Tate's content, with a total of 250 million video views and 5.7 million followers. Twitter also banned him in 2017 for his misogynistic views and hate speech, but reinstated his account following Elon Musk's takeover. Another major reason why Tate is so hated by the public is his views on mental health. He has made statements suggesting that depression is not a real illness, but rather a sign of weakness or laziness. "You feel sad, you move on," he wrote to his 2,600 fans and followers on Twitter in 2017. "You will always be depressed if your life is depressing." In the extremely long Twitter thread, Tate explained why he believes that people living with depression are simply lazy and will find any excuse to absolve responsibilities to feel better. When he was asked about mental depression and his advice to the victims in an interview, he said that the world is hyper-competitive and that people are what they believe in. He proceeded to say, "If you are a man who sits and says, 'I am sad,' then you are always going to lose in the competition to men like Andrew Tate himself." And as expected, there was a lot of backlash following that statement. As musician Alex Gaskarth said, "Making such ill-informed declarations without understanding the issue does harm to real people." And popular Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who has had a couple of issues with Tate on Twitter before, suggested that the former kickboxer's tweets said more about his own mental well-being than about the science behind depression. But Tate, being who he is, said that instead of feeling low about it, he decided not to worry about it because he believed the truth would eventually come out and people would realize that he was a nice person. Now, let's talk about this whole thing with Tate's Hustlers University. He started this online learning platform where people could sign up for courses on how to make money through drop shipping and cryptocurrency. And it wasn't cheap either. going for $49.99 a month. But here's where it gets interesting. There were reports that Tate told his Hustler University members to flood social media with videos of him. Experts called it a blatant attempt to manipulate the algorithm and boost his content artificially. And guess what? It actually worked. In less than 3 months, he went from failed reality star to viral sensation, potentially making millions in the process. But the affiliate scheme, which enabled members to earn commission by signing up members and posting content, closed in August last year, according to The Guardian. On another podcast, Fresh and Fit, the hosts asked Tate what influenced his move from the UK to Romania and how he began his business career after his fighting career came to an end. He said after he retired, he was broke with no idea of what to do next. So he began doing research into money, banks, and the financial system more generally. Then he made a list of his assets, a car, an apartment in London, $10,000 in the bank, and his girlfriends. During his career as a fighter, he had begun relationships with women in countries all over the world. Tate saw his girlfriends had monetary assets he could exploit, just like his savings. I could open a strip club, but that takes money and I need overhead. I need money. How can I use these women to make me money? He said on the podcast. He decided to go into the webcam industry, which is where he really began to build his personal wealth. At the height of my webcam pimpin', I think I'm the king of the world. The problem is the first 2 girls worked for me because they loved me. But once you get bigger, you start hiring girls who don't love you. They are in it for the money. And along the line, he had issues with one of the girls. The police got involved, and after a lengthy back and forth, he decided to move to Romania, where he had more freedom. It's no surprise that the things he said on that podcast ruffled a lot of feathers, as a lot of people found it distasteful. And probably why he had charges filed against him for human trafficking. The whole Andrew Tate saga really shines a light on some big societal debates we're having nowadays, you know? Like, how far does freedom of speech go before it crosses the line? And what about social norms? Are we okay with someone pushing the boundaries, or do we draw a line somewhere? It's like a cautionary tale about the internet age too. You've got these super provocative figures like Tate who can reach millions with just a few clicks. But with great power comes great responsibility, right? It's a reminder that even though you can say whatever you want online, there are consequences. But then again, for someone who gained his celeb status because of a controversy, I guess he'll have to keep up with the brand. But one thing's for sure, the debates sparked by his antics are definitely going to stick around. They're changing the way we discuss things and shaping our cultural attitudes. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more awesome content like this.